Good morning, everyone, and welcome to a Friday morning of the mop here in southwest Wisconsin. It is damn cold. That's right. It is 0 degrees and the wind is howling, but it's supposed to die down by 9 o'clock or so. We'll see. But we are supposed to be back in the 40s by Christmas. So we'll see how it goes. Welcome to the mop. Give credit when it's due. I got a special call yesterday, and yes, folks, from a Republican. Yes, I know. You're like, Chris, no, or yay, whatever you want to say. Mr. Tony Kurtz, thank you for the phone call. We've been playing phone tag for quite a while, talking about the needs for people with Alzheimer's / dementia and what the needs are in the state for facilities and care. Him and I talked about how he was shocked to hear that my mom would ever end up in Mendota or Winnebago, which are psychiatric run, basically where all the mentally that are whatever it may be, like the Slender Man slaying lady, that's where she's at. But at the time, that's the only place that my mom, because of what she was going through with her Alzheimer's, is that's where they put her. She got chaptered and got put there. He was very shocked to hear that. Also very shocked to know that because my wife being the manager of the ADRC here in Richland County, her and I could not talk about my mom or talk about programs or anything like that because it is conflict of interest. So as a caretaker and a legal guardian, and everybody that worked for my wife is also locked out, so I had to deal with just the state consortium. So we had a great talk. So thank you, Mr. Kurtz, for calling. I truly appreciate it. And yes, he is a Republican. And probably after that conversation, if there was one person that I may vote for as a Republican, it would be probably him. Just because he at least wanted to listen. He at least understood that I don't necessarily agree with both sides. I'm trying to find out what's best for families that are in the Alzheimer's dementia portion that are struggling to get through the process. See, when you're locked out of all of those, as I was, I couldn't get real help from very many people locally because they could not talk to me due to the conflict of interest. And people are like, well, just whatever, Chris. Well, no, you don't understand. My wife would have got caught. Anybody would have. We're talking about losing jobs or whatever it may be with conflict of interest. And we don't go down that road. We played everything by the rule, and I couldn't get advice on, trying to keep my mom under the X amount of dollars. And then, the thing that people don't understand, like for my mom, her Medicare and Medicaid, we were able to keep that, then you get your own pay share of what it costs to have mom in a facility. Now at Lake Hudson, it's a $9,000 a month facility. And that's what I also talked to Mr. Kurtz on, was the cost of these facilities. And then a lot of them have memory care in their name, but they have no idea how to handle the patients that have these memory care issues. So there needs to be some form of qualification in order to call yourself memory care. There needs to be ways that people are trained, actual expectations of the facilities, all needs to be there in order to say we are a memory care facility. My mom got put to where it was ordered that she needed to be in a locked facility because she was wandering, she was doing all those things, and the last thing I wanted my mom to do was walk out in front of somebody and they had to live with the fact that they hit my mom or ran over my mom or found my mom or that the family would find my mom. And there are a few projects out there like Project Lifesaver that you can put an armband on that has GPS. However, there's nothing that's going to stop her from cutting it off. And that's what my mom would do. No man, and you guys will just tell it. No, you're not understanding. See, this is where people have to start to understand the Alzheimer's realm. If you had a very proper mom my mom went out with her hair done, makeup on, nails done, whatever it may be, up until a few years, and then people would get mad, and I'm not going with who or what, but they would make comments of, jeepers cripes, just do your hair. You don't understand. It's kind of like when people would come to Hudson and say, well, not dressed right, not wearing this, not doing that, dresses like this. Be thankful they're dressed. Okay? If you're dealing with people with Alzheimer's and dementia and you get frustrated and upset easily, you're not the right person. You're not the right person that should be put into the realm of legal guardian, power of attorney for health care, because you are literally going to go bonkers and get super pissed off when people don't listen. Because my mom, I just had to get to the point she was comfortable, she was okay, whether she had matching socks, non-matching socks, whether her hair was done or not, because it took special care. And some of the girls at Hudson were absolutely phenomenal. They would work with mom, but taking showers and stuff, impossible. My mom was not a shower person. She was a bath person. My mom took baths. But there's not a real easy way to give baths to Alzheimer's patients when they all of a sudden start losing their ability to walk or anything else. And then to put them in such a tub where you can have the walk-in style tub, then you're dealing with having to wait forever for it to fill up. And by the time you have to just go with the flow. If you can give them sponge bath, whatever it may be. My mom was diagnosed in 2020. We feel that she had it well before that, but 2020 is when we diagnosed it, and she passed away in 2024. But so, Mr. Kurtz, thank you for the phone call. I am going to try to make it down to the Capitol. They have a day where people can go and talk about the needs and experiences. He encouraged me to come. Was very happy and excited about what I raised for the Alzheimer's Association. So that was awesome. So I appreciate the phone call. Now, on to another subject of being thankful. I think a lot of people struggle with where they're at currently. I know I do. I know I struggle knowing that what all I've been through and where I am today, I should be thankful. Last night, I feel like I didn't bowl real well. I very frustrated, very aggravated. But I need to think back and go, I'm lucky to be bowling. I'm just lucky to be doing the sport. I'm lucky that I can golf. I'm lucky I can go with the buddies and everybody else fishing and not be a big nuisance. I don't ask for help. I struggle through a lot of things, and inside I'm pissed off a lot of times because I struggle with what used to be easier to do because of this hand. Try tying fishing lures with a numb hand. So you can't feel the line, you can't feel the jig. Try to twist anything and see how it goes. Especially when you're out on the ice in the winter. When it's cold and your hand already feels like it's surrounded by needles, which it does today. We all need to sit back and be thankful. I drive a nice truck. I live in a beautiful home. I got land. I got 5 acres that I mow. I got look at what you have around you and be thankful. Things could be way worse. I had a stroke. It could have been a hell of a lot worse. I know people that have had strokes, and it's a lot worse. So I think it was part of it just to wake me up a little bit, change my direction. They say the good Lord only gives you what you can handle. But with that said, the good Lord only gives you the things and to point you in the right direction. Sometimes I think he leaves it up to you to choose the right way or the wrong way. He can guide you so much. But take time to be thankful where you are. Whether it's an apartment, whether you're paying off bills, whether you're graduating from college currently, whatever it may be, take time to enjoy the small victories and work them up to a bigger victory. Trying to get out of debt, trying to go to work, trying to go to the gym. Try to make, I know I'd be bowling better this year if I was just downstairs. People look at, I look at Verity Crawley or, any of them that are pro bowlers. They're doing more than bowling one night a week. They're doing more than that's all you're doing is bowling. They're down practicing. She's on vacation, or she's home and she's practicing. She's doing drills. She's doing this. She's doing that. She's in the gym. That's what it takes to be at the top of your game. I talked about this a long time ago, that if you do something for 20, let's say, I think it's less than this, but 20 minutes a day, every day for a year, you will be in the top % of the people in that category. So let's say you want to learn how to play piano, and you do it 20 minutes a day, every day, for a year, you will be in the top 10%. So if I took and went to the bowling alley and practiced bowling 20 minutes a day, every day, I can't imagine what I'd do for my game. If I went down in the basement and worked in the gym on the treadmill and was on the treadmill 20 minutes a day, every day, because you're going to slowly build speed, incline. You're not going to just stay on a flat you're not on the treadmill at 3 miles an hour or whatever for 10 minutes or 20 minutes whatever it may be. Pretty soon you're doing faster and faster and you're doing more things. But it doesn't take a lot of actual time out of your day. How often are you on your phone? How often are you on TV? If you take some of that time and move it to an activity, just think how much better in a year, and you do it every day. Every day. For a whole year. Where do you think you'd be? Plus, it'd be ingrained in your head, so even after that year, you're just going to continue to do it. Unless you absolutely hated it. But I don't think you'd pick that. Pick something you like to do, and do it for 20 minutes every day. Maybe shut your phone off. I know that's really hard for all of us. It's impossible for most of us anymore. It's absolutely impossible. But concentrate on something you want to be better at 20 minutes every day for the next year and see where you're at. See how much improvement. And the nice thing is you can always record it like I am today, and you'll have that reference. You would have that reference to see how you improved at the end of the year. See, in sales, the one thing I always struggled to get across to guys and gals that are in sales is practice. Well, I don't need practice. Every position needs practice. Sales, you need practice. I'm hearing stories currently. I'm trying to help somebody buy a UTV right now, and I'm not of the business. But I'm hearing stories of, well, I've called this dealer, I've called that dealer, and they're not calling me back. If you are getting leads from somebody, and you are getting leads from people calling in, don't just naturally think you're going to call them back. Don't just write it on your calendar pad. And this goes for whether it's flooring to whether it's whatever it may be that you're selling. Put it in your calendar on your phone. Need to call John on this date, this time, and then your phone will tell you, hey. But whatever you do, do not just script that. Do not just, when somebody tells you about somebody, write it down. Make sure you have business cards with you, because we all have to have practice. You can't just show up and go, well, this is how I'll handle the situation. I'm just going to do it my way. 9 times out of 10, you're going to run into people that you don't like, or you butt heads with. You don't like their attitude. You don't like how they address people. Your best bet is if you feel that in the back of your head, and because here's where the struggle is I'm a paid salesman on commission. So if I don't get the deal done, I don't get paid on it. So I'll just watch him go out the door maybe, and then I'll just say, well, he was this or that. There's always an excuse why he didn't buy. Maybe it's where you go, you know what? I need to give this person to this guy. And then that guy has to remember to give something back to where maybe he doesn't have somebody he gets along with. Without follow-up, without follow-through, you will not grow. And if you have managers that are not at least checking in or helping with practice, and maybe your manager doesn't know how to help with practice. Maybe the owner is not included at all. Maybe they don't want to talk about things. Maybe they don't want to do this. And this goes from the restaurant world to anywhere else. Are you a waitress that just walks up and say, hey, glad you're here. Thanks a lot. Beverage? Well, yeah, maybe if you had hey, this week we had, if you're not approaching tables with smiles and customers with smiles, and this is where I was at the end of it before I just got burned out. I was in it for over 20 years, or right around 20 years, and I got burned out. I miss it dearly. I love doing it. That's why I'm helping a few people right now get in touch with dealers and things like that, and working through the deals, working with the stats, everything else. It's something that needs to be done. And if you're not promoting all that, your business is in trouble. If you are not online doing videos or walk-arounds of new units that you take in, or specials of the days, or, I think the place you work at would be okay, if when the first special gets ordered at your restaurant today, take a picture of it and say, hey, I'm working today. Come on in. Use your own Facebook. Don't rely on, if you're relying on tips and everything else, some of that needs to come from your own personal work. So be thankful for where you're at. There's nothing worse than going to a store that people are miserable, because you can feel it. You don't want to be around it. It sucks. So be proud of where you are. Be proud of what you're doing. And treat people, as my mom would say, you want to be treated. If you don't want to be treated that way, you're probably in the wrong business. If you get frustrated really easy with people, you probably shouldn't be in sales or where you have to waitress or things like that. On the other hand, if you have outstanding service and outstanding everything else, take time to find somebody above your person that you're dealing with. Say that person's a rock star. Whatever you do, keep that one. So that's where we're at today. Bold, so-so. Averaged almost 200 last night. But like I said, I should be thankful I'm able to. So going into the holiday season, I wish everybody the best. Going Merry Christmas and then Happy New Year. My wife and I on New Year's Day will be celebrating another anniversary that she's put up with me, which I'm very fortunate for. Have a great day. Thank you for tuning into the Mop. I will talk to you Monday morning with another edition of the Mop. And as always, take time to bless somebody today.